Okay, so first step of customization of withholding tax or TDS procedure. In the first step, in fact, we are going to create a calendar, right? In SAP software, in fact, every year, beginning of the year, we prepare a calendar. Normally, organizations, they have their own calendar. In the calendar, uh, specifically the holidays are declared. Okay, which dates are holidays, those are declared. Normally holidays includes the national holidays of that particular country, as well as the holidays which is applicable to that particular organization in a particular region. Similarly, in SAP, how to create a calendar? Actually, creating a calendar in SAP, it is specifically the task of HR module, human capital module. But also we should understand how to create a calendar. Why I am creating calendar? Because while the TDS procedure is there, practically when TDS has to be deposited, there are some rules and regulations of the depositing TDS. Normally, whenever you deduct tax, TDS or your tax on behalf of a particular vendor or service provider or contractor, that has to be deposited within the 7th day of the next month. If 7th day is the holiday, then suppose that is a national holiday, then on the very next day you can deposit. So it is very important that the organization should maintain a calendar. Organization calendar must mention the declared date and holidays, so that it should not miss actually when it has to deposit. So therefore creation of a calendar is very important, and the calendar is created inside the SAP system, and every year that calendar has to be prepared fresh, because the date of the holiday differs. For example, January 26th, that is a holiday which is exactly the same across all the years. But suppose let us have a holiday regarding, say, Netaji Subhas Bose Jayanti, okay, or let us have, say, a holiday like your Mahastami or Mahasaptami or Lakshmi Puja. These are the holidays which differs, the date differs from year to year. Okay, so that's why making a calendar inside the SAP system, it is a regular task. That means once in a year this has to be framed. Mostly HR people are given the task to do that. As we are starting the customization of TDS procedure, also calendar makes the relevance to us. So for preparation of the calendar, let us go to the customization area, SAP reference IMG. The calendar preparation is not specific to a particular module, though it is a task. Normally these are given the task, this task is given to admin department or HR department, but this is not in a specific node like financial accounting or your logistics or material management or sales and distribution. It's not like that. It is there in a different area. Okay, it is there in SAP NetWeaver. So click on the SAP NetWeaver, then we will go to the general settings, then we will go to the maintain calendar. Okay, so while creating the calendar, there are three things actually. One is public holiday, the second is holiday calendar, third is factory calendar. Okay, so these three things are interlinked. First of all, we will declare the public holidays, right? Why we will declare the public holidays? Because in this public holiday, you are not supposed to deposit the TDS. The next day is available to you. So accordingly, in a specific year, we will declare the public holidays. Then public holidays is linked with the holiday calendar, and holiday calendar is linked to the factory calendar. Factory calendar means that is applicable to your company code, not to a particular factory or manufacturing unit. The term is factory calendar, but it is applicable to your company code. So holidays will be linked with the holiday calendar, and holiday calendar will be linked to finally the factory calendar, or that is the thing which is used in your company code. So by default the radio button, that means it is just like a hierarchy. First of all, we will declare the public holidays. For declaration of public holidays, we can click on the change button, right? So many public holidays has already been declared. Anybody who is, we will declare a public holiday within a year, then it will be there in this particular list, right? So in this case, we can also create our own public holiday, right? We can create our own public holiday, add to this list. For example, for creation of our public holiday, we will click on this create button. Okay. So while I click on the create button, then there are many options with fixed date, distance to Easter calendar is there, which is used in European countries, floating public holiday, Easter Sunday with a fixed day from date. Normally it is with fixed date. Fixed date means for this year this is fixed, but for the next year we have to create another one, assigning it a different date. So the date is not fixed actually. The date is fixed for this year. Next year some other day will be there. So let it be the radio button with the fixed date. Then click on create. Okay. Suppose we declare that 26th and month is say October. Okay. October means it's not like your month which is there in open and close posting period. Normally period is different, month is different. Month means calendar month, which starts from January and ends on 31st December. Period means fiscal year, in your fiscal year, which period you use. In our case, April is the first period and March is the last period or 12th period. But it is not asking the same thing. It is asking you the month. So I am putting this 26th October. Okay. This year I am putting this 26th October. Okay. So 26th October I am declaring this a specific holiday which will be applicable for this month. So now I will put the short holiday name. Okay. So short holiday name I am giving it say Lakshmi Puja. Or Lakshmi Puja may be there. I am creating something new like Dhanu Jatra. Okay. Suppose I put it as say another date, say 25th say December, or 22nd December say, and I am giving Dhanu Yatra, and there is a long name here. Okay. Then I put on enter. While putting enter, a alert message will come. Don't care for the alert message and click on continue. Okay. So now my public holiday has been created. Dhanu Yatra has been created on a particular date. Then I am coming back. So this is my public holiday. Whatever public holiday I have created, it is already there in the field catalog, or it is already saved in the list. Then I will go to the next step, holiday calendar. Okay. So in this holiday calendar also, same manner I will create change. So there are many holiday calendars are there, but I have to create my own holiday calendar. So for creation of my own calendar, I will click on create, right? So I am creating the calendar ID as say 7/2, right? So I am creating my calendar ID, say 7200 holiday calendar. Okay, then it is creating valid from 2022 to, by default 5 years are valid. You can do it for 5 years at a advance, or you can do it for 1 year maybe. It is up to you. Suppose, but the system will propose the first 5 years, 2022 to 2027. Okay, then I will click on this is the description. Then I will click on assign holidays. That means the particular holiday which I have declared, I will assign here. But Indian context, normally it is created every year, because the Dhanu Yatra which is declared for this year, that will differ in the next year, 2023, 27, 24, 25. Every year the date will differ. So instead it can be created every year. This activity can be created every year. Every year we will create, and then we will assign it with the holiday calendar. Actually I have told you that first of all we will declare the public holiday, then that public holiday will be linked with the holiday calendar. So for my holiday calendar there is a identification. This identification is 2 digit actually. It can be alphabetical, it can be numerical or alphanumeric. For the purpose of remembering, I use the same, that is part of my company code name, that is 72. Okay, then I will do the assignment. What is assignment? You know, assignment means linking. So now all the list of public holidays are coming. There are, so it is a long list. So within that list, let us find out our holiday which I have declared. So let us search it. It is having a limited search terms. Click on continue. Cancel search after 500 hits. So suppose let us increase it, 999. Okay, now it is coming. Why 999 I have given? It may be more than 500. So if I put it within 500 or 100, then the system will search only first 100 or first 500 records. So it was 3 digit and I use the maximum 999, so that all the records are searched. So Dhanu Yatra is coming, which is there under the list. Then I select this Dhanu Yatra which I have created. Then I click on assign public holiday. Okay, I will click on assign public holiday. Okay, then I will click on save. I will click on save. Okay, so this public holiday is assigned to my holiday calendar, right? Then I will click on the 2 buttons. So this is the first declaration of a public holiday. This is assigning of the public holiday to my identification, my calendar. Then I will come to the third stage. In the third stage, I will create a factory calendar. So in the factory calendar, let us click on the change button, same way. And I will create my factory calendar here. Let us give the calendar ID, same ID. It is a different factory. Okay, so this is, though it is factory calendar, but I am using the same identification. Let's see. Then factory calendar is at the top. Under the factory calendar we have holiday calendar ID. Okay, so under the factory calendar there are holiday calendar. Under the holiday calendar all the holidays are declared. Normally what happened, working days, here 5 days are working. Saturday, Sunday and public holiday, the office is closed. So this 3 has not been selected. Saturday, Sunday and public holidays are not selected. So that's why there are by default 5 working days. However, if any public holiday falls within this 5 working day, then it will supersede. Understand? It will supersede. Suppose Dhanu Yatra will fall under Tuesday. Then even if here it is declared as this is the common working days, but if any public holiday will be there within this 5 days, then it will supersede these conditions. Then click on save. Don't care for the warning message, save it. So now I have created my factory calendar, right? So after creation of the factory calendar, this is just the understanding actually. How to create a calendar may not be, it will be practically used in TDS procedures, but while implementing the TDS procedure, it is a must that you should have a sound calendar of your organization. Then come back. Now I will go to the next area, which is the customization of TDS procedure, basic customizations. First is check withholding tax countries. That means in this customization I will declare in which country my withholding tax procedure or TDS procedure will be customized, because you know that in this SAP software it can be applicable in globally in different countries, right? So first of all we should see whether in country India this TDS procedure is already activated or not. If it is not there, or if it is not activated or customized, we have to customize it. However, this customization is done at once. At once means if in this particular software or in this particular client, if I will activate it for country India, then at the time of practice, in your case, you don't have to activate it, because your company code is also in country India. And once I activated in country India, then it is already applicable to all the company codes under this client which are operating, all the company codes which are having Indian company codes and within this client. So let us see it. I have to go to the financial accounting new, then financial accounting global settings new. In the financial accounting global settings, there is a settings called withholding tax. Click on this node. There are two types of withholding tax. One is simple withholding tax, another is extended withholding tax. We will follow always the updated version, that is extended withholding tax. So click on this node and click on the basic settings, right? On the basic settings, the first one is check withholding tax countries. Let us check first. Click on the clock button. Now you see these are the countries where withholding tax is already applicable. Now click on the position button and search the country India. Fine. So here in country India also, so many times withholding tax has been applicable. The people, students who are doing the practice, irrationally they have created so many withholding tax activation, but once is sufficient. And description, see in all this case students have left further description. This is properly described here, so nothing to worry, and once it is there, then you don't have to create second time, because that will be also applicable to your company code. So we just see it, we never have to do anything. Then come back. Then just let us check once. See, if you have to create a new, you can click on the new entry button, no issues. Country, you will be having 2-digit like IN, and withholding tax country, you have to give a identification of your country, any identification, okay? But this is through the drop down, all the country lists are there, you have to choose IN, or you can also type IN, but here there is no drop down. So identification is yours. It is a short identification of country India, and there is a description. So it is not a very critical simple customization, and once it is done, then it is not to be done again. Then I will go to the next area. Obviously the next area is this one, define withholding tax keys. Okay, so what is withholding tax keys? We know as per the Income Tax Act there are different sections under which withholding tax is charged. Like 194C, there is a section, 194I, 194H, there are different sections, and each section the percentage is also different. Therefore, practically when withholding tax customization is done, during the process, the consultants, they create different keys for the requirement of different withholding tax rules or acts. So therefore we will create only one, that is 194C, but any organization which will be having different withholding tax types of withholding tax which are followed, they have to create many identifications, and those identifications are simply called withholding tax keys, nothing else. So click on the clock button. While creating any key, the first of all the system will ask in which country you are creating withholding tax. Very simple, I will create the country key IN. Okay, so in the country key also many withholding tax keys has been created. So if it is created, then you can also use the same thing. You don't have to create again. If you have to create again, then there will be the double creation, because your description will match. Then system will just not allow you to create with the same name. This key, withholding tax key, it is nothing. It is an identification only. Here it is written 194C for the purpose of clear understanding. You can also create 190C. Suppose you have to create a new one, then you can click on new entries and you can create yours. This is 4 digit, right? This is 4 digit. Somebody has created 194C, you can create 94C. If you understand, then it is fine. One is removed. System will not allow you. System will allow you to have any n numbers of digits for the identification of your 194C. Okay, or anything you can do from which you will understand. So there is a short name and there is a descriptive name, right? So if it is already there, we can use it, 194C payment to contractor, or if it is not there, then we can also create another one. So this is the identification of official withholding tax keys. Here see, for rent another one is created, for brokerage, insurance commission, interest income other than securities, professional or technical service, TDS on professionals or providing of technical service, then TDS on purchase of goods. A lot of things are there. So it is up to you how whether you will create a new one with new identification, or you will just use the one which is already created, right? So as it is already there, we are not creating anything, we are just coming back. It is asking data was changed, save change fast. We will not save because we have not created anything. There is no question of saving. Then we will go to the next customization. Our next customization is your business places. So what is the relevance of business places? See, normally what happened, TDS shall be deducted even if your company code is across pan India. Suppose your company code is across pan India. Every company code will be having one PAN number, permanent account number. That is the tax identification number. But for the TDS deduction and deposit, it can be decentralized. For the purpose of control mechanism for deduction of tax on your contractor's bills and deposit it, it must be decentralized. Otherwise, coordination is very difficult because there will be lot of local vendors or local contractors to whom you have to deduct the payment, deduct the TDS and deposit it. So you have to create so many, you have to take so many TAN number from the taxation authorities. So whenever you will take TAN numbers, different TAN number, let us take an example. Suppose you have an office in Bhubaneswar, your company code is having an office in Bhubaneswar, another office is at Cuttack. In this case, you can also take two numbers of TAN number. Cuttack office, they will deduct the tax on their vendors or service providers and deposit it to the income tax department. Bhubaneswar office, they will also deduct from their service providers or contractors and deposit it at Bhubaneswar or online. So business place makes relevance. Business place means it particularly identifies from which place or from which TAN number the tax is deducted and deposited. So there is a area called define business place. So in the basic settings, up to basic settings, the path is same, and under the basic settings there is this is extended withholding tax. We will come to the basic settings. Under the basic settings there is a node called India. Click on India, then click on define business places. Okay, so here I will create a business place for my purpose. Let us have a business place. Click on the new entries button, and I am making the things very simple. So I am doing it like my company code 7200, and I am giving a section code or business place. It can be called as section code or business place. So it is asking me the drop down actually. I have not created, but it is asking. Let us try it. Say BBSR factory, BBSR city office. Let us do it. Okay, it is asking some more information. Company, like say BBSR city office. Other things are not mandatory, so I will just click on continue and click on save. Okay, so I have created this. Actually, though it is called business place, but really it is section code. Actually, it is creation of section code for extended withholding tax. So though it is asking for business place, but really inside it is the creation of section code. So now I will define a business place and link with the section code. For creation of business code, for creation of business place, normally the path is not available. We can go through the direct transaction code and create it. See, I will directly create it in a table itself because the path is not available, because it is something which is applicable to country India. Instead of creating, because if SAP will create so many paths for so many legal requirements or statutory requirements for different countries, then it will be a long list. So instead SAP has directly giving you some T codes by directly modifying it in the table directly without making any path. So there is a transaction code SM30. Put the transaction SM30, and here give the table view J underscore 1 BB RAN CV. Okay, then click on see this is the table view. This is the code for view of the table. and I will update everything in the table. Actually, whenever you do the customization, the same thing is saved in the table, SAP table, and in this process I am directly updating in the SAP table without going through the path. So I will click on maintain button. It is asking in under which company code it will be updated in the SAP table. I will select S7200. Okay, then I will click on the new entries. Here it is asking the business place. I will put the same thing and I will put 7200 BBSR business place. Okay, so it will be there itself, BBSR business place, and I will put as save. While saving, the same thing I will write 7200 BBSR business place, and I will click on continue. Again continue. Okay, then I will go to the next customization. The next customization is assignment. So what is assignment? Assignment is nothing but the linking of one customization with another. So I will link factory calendar to business place, because the business place is the real identification from where all the tedious administration will takes place. So my factory calendar or holiday calendar, what I have used for my purpose, it should be linked with the place where tedious administration will happen. Okay, so tedious administration will happen from the business of business place, for which there is a separate TAN number available. So like your BBSR city office. So now I will do the assignment there itself. So I will go to the financial accounting new, then financial accounting global settings new, then tax on sales and purchases, then I will go to the basic settings, then I will go to the India, then just a minute, it is, sorry, I was supposed to in the withholding tax, I came to tax on sales and purchases. This is withholding tax. Under this you have to select extended withholding tax, right? Then under the extended withholding tax, you have to click on basic settings, then you have to click on India, then you have to go to assign factory calendar to business place here itself, right? Then I will click on the new entries button. Now my company code name is 7200. Okay, then I will come to my business place. So my business place I have already created. I can also check it. This is my business place what I have created. Then I will link it with the factory calendar. So my factory calendar I have created 72, and here I will declare tax due date rule. What is the rule of tax due date? Normally, if there are public holidays, then we can add 1 day plus day after. But some companies, they play very safe and they used to have minus 1 day before. That means even if whenever there will be any public holiday, then automatically the system will show you that before that date your organization policy is don't wait for the public holiday which is on the last day. Last day means 7th of the next month. Deposit it before that date. So in our case also I have used it minus day before, so that the organization will be proactive to deposit the tax. Click on save in your request. Then the next task is linking of the section code to business place. So here I will, this is also to be done in the table, direct in the table. So for doing it direct in the table, I will go to SM30 transaction code. here there is a table view called B underscore SECCOD, and I will click on maintain button. It will ask me the company code name, and I give my company code name 7200, and I will click on continue. Okay, so once I click on continue, my section code is automatically coming, and I will give the business place here itself, this one, the same name. Okay, then linkage is established, and I click on save in my request. Okay, then the next is define withholding tax type for invoice posting. There are two circumstances when withholding tax is to be deducted. The first circumstances is, actually the condition is, whether bill passing or payment whichever is earlier, TDS has to be deposited at the time of advance payment or passing of the bills whichever is earlier, right? That is the basic condition. Suppose we are making advance payment to our supplier, there also we have to deduct the TDS. If there is no condition of any down payment or advance payment to the supplier or vendor, actually not supplier, contractors, because the vendor which is supplying raw materials, no TDS has to be deducted. The vendor which is supplying any service, providing any service, or contractors kind of vendor, TDS has to be deducted. So any advance payment, TDS has to be deducted. If there is no advance payment, when the bill is passed, TDS has to be deducted. We cannot wait till the bill is paid or the bill is cleared. So I have to create two numbers of withholding tax type. One is for advance payment, another is for invoice entry, right? One is invoice posting, another is advance payment. Because sometimes before passing of the invoice, advance payment has to be also released. So it is a purely different situation. No invoice is there, but you are going to make the down payment. However, as per the TDS rule, on the down payment also you have to deduct tax. So I will create two conditions, actually, two types of withholding tax type, two numbers of withholding tax type. So for that purpose, let us go to the same customization area. This is your financial accounting global settings. Always come to the withholding tax and use the updated versions, that is extended withholding tax. Then we will come to the calculation part. Click on the calculations. Okay, then click on the withholding tax type. Then we will come to define withholding tax type for invoice posting. Okay, invoice posting, there are two things: invoice posting or payment posting, or we can call it advance posting or down payment posting. So first of all, it is a normal case of invoice posting. Okay, so whenever we are having the invoice posting, so many withholding tax type has been created, but I have to create my separate withholding tax type, and I give it the identification. Okay, it is 2-digit. Suppose I give it SI, or I can give it, let it be SI 7200 invoice posting. Okay, so description, I can have another 7200 invoice posting hyphen 194C in respect of contractors bills. Okay, so therefore in the description I make it very clear. Here it is not very clear, but here it is very clear that it is under 194C, and while passing the invoice the TDS has to be deducted. and base amount select as gross, select gross amount. Then select withholding tax commercial round. You know, whenever withholding tax is calculated, it is not deposited in fraction or paisa, it is rounded up. So I am using commercial round. Commercial round, if it is more than 5, then it will be in the next figure. If it is less than 5, it will come down, below down. That is called commercial rounding. Then select post withholding tax amount checkbox. It is already there by default there. Then I will select no accumulation checkbox. So what is no accumulation checkbox? Normally what happened, for the purpose of TDS, there is also another rule. Exactly that rule is not remembered, but suppose for a particular service provider or contractor, if total number of supplies exceeds 75,000 in a year or 50,000 in a year, then TDS will be applicable. So there is exactly a rule, or 1 lakh, it will be like that, 75,000 or 1 lakh. Below 1 lakh, total invoice supply below 1 lakh within a year, that will not attract TDS. But nobody guarantee that today the supplier is supplying say 5,000 amount of invoice, and by the year end how many invoices will come. If it exceeds 1 lakh, then what would happen to the previous invoices which has been already passed without deducting TDS? So the organization should have a safe play. So therefore I select no accumulation. That means accumulation kind of things, or treating the threshold limit for the yearly supply, that will not be applicable at all. Each and every invoice, automatically TDS will be deducted. Okay. So that much thing, click on save. Save in your request. Then I will go to the next one. The next one is okay, this one has been created. Click on the new entries button again. Then I put it 7A. Okay. Then I will put 7200 advance posting. Advance posting hyphen 194C, right? So this is the thing which is there for the advance posting. Sorry. Now here I will put the description is already there, and the most important thing is, same as usual, we have to select the gross radio button. That means on the gross amount we are going to deduct the tax. Then withholding tax commercial round, it is already there. Then post withholding tax amount, it is already there. No accumulation, already there. Then finally we will go to just a minute, actually I was mistaken. This is not the place of custom. This is only for withholding tax type for invoice posting. There is another path. Yes, this one, define withholding tax type for payment posting, right? So this path, this particular node will be used for invoice posting customization. Second one is for advance payment posting. Okay, so I was in wrongly, I was in the same one. So click on this, then I will create. Click on the new entries button. I am putting 7A, and here I am putting 7200 advance posting 194C, right? Then here also we will select the gross, then withholding tax commercial round, post withholding tax amount, no accumulation. But here I will select central invoice proportionate radio button. What does it mean? Suppose you are paying advance to your vendor. So finally when material will be supplied, how much TDS you have to deposit? You have to deposit the proportionate TDS, isn't it? Suppose you have given 50,000 advance to your vendor. So on the 50,000 you will deduct 2% tax. Suppose the invoice value is 1 lakh. Then whenever you will pass the invoice value 1 lakh, how much TDS has to be deducted again? Proportionate. Proportionate means 1 lakh minus 50,000 or 50% of 1 lakh. So proportionate in central invoice proportionate radio button will be selected. So it will be selected only at the time of advance posting. That means the system will automatically memorize that for this advance, when final bill will be passed, proportionate amount shall be deducted. So therefore we select central invoice proportionate and click on save. Okay, so this is the two numbers of customizations for your contractors. But if the organization is involved, normally the organization is involved in many cases for the TDS, so you have to create as many as withholding tax type. Two withholding tax type for every one provision. 194C we have created 2, 194I we will create 2, 194H we will create 2, like that. Then I will go to the next customization. In the next customization, I will create the code, withholding tax codes. So for that withholding tax code, I will come to this path. Okay. Then I will come to define withholding tax code, and I will, by default my country India will be there. I will click on continue. So many withholding tax codes has been created. So we can also create our own code, or we can create the one which is already used. It is better to create our own code. So how do we create it? Say, because so many things are created, let us create my own having the same thing which is used, like say 7I, that means invoice posting, withholding tax type. Let us come to the drop down. In the drop down, this one 7I. Similarly, I am going to create a code with the same name 7I. Okay, so that I will not be confused. Then official withholding tax keys, already it is created in the first instances, so I did not create this, I will use this. Now I will give the description. 194C contractors invoice posting 7200. Then percentage subject to tax 100%. Naturally the tax will be assessed on 100%. Okay. Then withholding tax rate, I will put the withholding tax rate 2% here. Then it is asking for the posting indicator. So what is the posting indicator? In the posting indicator, I will use standard posting, bank, vendor, customer, line item reduced. That means while making the posting, the vendor amount payable will be reduced. Or if I pay through the bank for the advance, then bank value will be reduced. Amount goes out from the bank will be reduced whenever I am making the down payment or advance payment. Whenever I will create the liability to the vendor, then vendor liability will be reduced. So posting indicator always use 1, right? Then click on save. Then just click on the next button. Here 7A, that is for advance withholding tax type I have created. Withholding tax code also I will create the same one, that is 7A. And here I will use 194C advance posting. Instead of invoice posting, I will be having advance posting 7200. Percentage subject to tax 100%, rate 2%, Posting indicator the same, that is 1. That is 1. Okay. Then I will click on save. So this is also safe. Then I will go to the recipient type. So what is the meaning of recipient type? You know, recipient to recipient, also the tax deduction differs. Okay. So for example, in case of government, suppose suppose the party or the vendor is a government, is really the government agency. Just a minute, official withholding tax key I am not assigned. I will assign it, then again I will save. Okay, otherwise it will not work. So every organization, there can be many contractors. Some contractors are government, some contractors are companies, some contractors are Hindu undivided family. So according to the status, the tax also differs, rate of tax also differs. Some are individuals. So we can have to, normally practically we have to create recipient types, because that recipient types are also sometimes the determining factor for the application of the rate or percentage. Okay, so therefore let us understand how to create the recipient types. So here is your basic settings. I will go to the basic settings. Here I will go to the check recipient types. Click on continue. So there are many recipient types already created. I can also create my own recipient type, like new entries, withholding tax type, first one 7i I am using, recipient type I am using say 2-digit G, or I can use I can use CO means company. That means my service provider is company. Then this is 7a, this is also company. Okay, then click on save. So I have created 2 numbers of recipient type which is linked with the withholding tax type. Okay, then assign withholding tax type to the company code. So whatever withholding tax type I have created, I will assign it to my company code. That is very important. Otherwise, whatever customization I have done, that will not work at all. So for that purpose, I will go to the withholding tax, then I will go to the extended withholding tax. Okay, then I will go to company code. I will go to activate extended withholding tax. Then I will click on see, this is your activate withholding tax, extended withholding tax. Then I have to put my company code, say 7200. Okay, so I will select extended withholding tax here. Okay, then I will click on save. While saving, a message is coming, alert message is coming. I'm just activating withholding tax. There is an alert message coming actually. Let us click on continue. Okay, fine. So my extended withholding tax is activated. Again, it is doing the same. So it is activated. I should assign it with the company code. Actually, this should be the first one, this should be the second one, but I can also do this after this one. Assign withholding tax type to the company code. I can also do this. Then I will click on the new entries button. Okay. So in the new entries, I will put my company code. Then withholding tax type, two things are there. One is 7I, invoice posting, recipient is CO. Then I will select withholding tax agent checkbox, and obliged from I am putting first, say 1st April 2022. Okay, up to I am not selecting anything, it will be used for unidentified period. So click on save. Define a period time for authorization for deduction. Okay, obliged. Okay, let us have a period, say 31st March 9999. Let us do it. Okay, so it is required, actually we cannot make it blank. So it is indefinite period. So whatever thing I have created, customization I have created, it is forever. I don't have to change it. Click on the new entries button. Here also 7200. Then my 7A, recipient type CO, withholding tax agent checkbox, 1st April 22 to 31st March 9999. Then click on save. Okay, so I have assigned it with the company code, as well as I have activated the extended withholding tax. Now my withholding tax is ready to be used. So then I have to create a GL account, because previously whatever GL account I have created, that is for inventory raw material, supply of inventory raw material. Let us create another GL account for conversion charges or service charges. Okay, which normally is the area of contractors. So for service charges, that is your expenses, let us go to the OBD4, because each and every time whenever we will create any GL account, we will first go through the group. So let us go to the OBD4 7200. Now this is my manufacturing cost, 4 lakh to 4 lakh 99. Suppose your company code is involved in manufacturing activity, and during the manufacturing activity some portion of your manufacturing activity is undertaken by some service providers or contractors. Okay, so that will come under 4 lakh to 4 lakh 99. So manufacturing expenses are coming under 4 lakh to 4 lakh 99. So there is no GL for 4 lakhs. I can create it. First GL of manufacturing expenses, I can have the with template 400 100. Suppose I am copying 7200. This is employee cost. I have to change it to manufacturing cost, and I will make it service charges. Service charges. Okay, so this is the thing what I am supposed to do. Now for this expenses, I will create this expenses for the purpose of my so group changed, these are also changed, other fields are very same. Click on save. Okay, then I will create another GL, that is TDS payable. As you know, whenever you pass any entries, expenses account will be debited to the full amount, and liability will be divided into two parts. Some liability will be kept in the TDS payable general ledger account, and rest of the liability will be kept in the vendor payable or service providers payable. So therefore we also need another GL account which is current liability, under the current liability, and that is your TDS payable. So TDS payable is under the current liability, and it will be created under the account group 100 200 to 100 299. So let us see how many current liabilities we have created. I'm just sorting it out. 100, 200, 201, 202. Okay, wages payable is there. Then I will create another one, 100, 203. 100, 203. I am copying it from 100, 202. Enter. Okay, so I am giving it the name as, say, TDS payable. Here is also TDS payable, and within the hyphen I can see 194C. So it is, this GL is particularly applicable for 194C cases, that is your relating to your service providers. Like this will be applicable to your service providers only, not for other cases. So other things are very much same. Click on save. Okay, so two numbers of GLs has been created. Then I will go to the next customization. In the next customization, I will declare the automatic posting. Automatic posting means the system will calculate the TDS automatically and create the extra line items TDS payable in an automatic manner. So I will make the linkage, I will make the customization in the SAP system so that this 100,203 will be automatically populated, GL account will automatically populated with the calculated amount as per the percentage which is configured in the SAP system. So therefore I will do the automatic posting configurations. I will go to the customization area. This is financial accounting new, then financial accounting global settings, then withholding tax. Then I will go to the extended withholding tax. I will come under the posting. Under the posting, I will go for the accounts for withholding tax. Then I will go to the define accounts for withholding tax to be paid over. To be paid over means the liability, TDS payable. So I have to define the account here. That means I have already created the GL account, but I have to do the automatic linkage. Now I will click on select withholding tax code checkbox, select withholding tax checkbox, this two only. Click on save. Okay, click on save. So I have two situations. Whenever any withholding tax is deducted in normal invoice, there also I have to deduct. Let us have country India, everything is here. So in case of 7I, same GL will be used, TDS payable GL will be used. Similarly here withholding tax code, same I have used, 7I. See, okay, then I will use the GL account. Which GL account? 100,203. In case of advance posting also, the amount calculated will be piled off in this GL as well as in invoice cases, passing of invoice, whichever is earlier. So here that is 7A, here also 7A, this is 100,203. That means I make understand to the system that whether advance on advance payment TDS will be deducted or normal cases, then everything will be piled off in only one GL, which is 100,203, that is your TDS payable. So click on save. Save in your request. Then the next customization is maintain company code settings for this particular withholding tax. There is a company code settings, very simple settings, nothing is there, only to assign the company code, but it is there on the logistics. Actually it is not there, it is in logistics. So I will go to the logistics general. Then I will come to the tax on goods movement. Let us see, tax on goods movement, and this is specifically for country India. Actually this is activation, this is nothing else. I am activating the TDS procedure. So I am under the basic settings, then I am coming under the maintain company code settings. Then I will click on the new entries button, give my company code 7200, and that's it. I don't have to nothing to do, because excise duty and lot of things are there, but it is no more required. Just to activate the TDS, I have to activate the company code in this node only. That's it. Then I will come to the vendor master. Why vendor master? Because withholding tax related configurations, whatever I have done, I will link it to my specific vendor. So my transaction code of change vendor I will apply XK02. So from the drop down I will select my vendor. Now that vendor was supplying the raw material, but now that vendor will supply me the service. So same vendor, I will assign the TDS related customizations. Okay. So there is a in the company code data button, there is a area for withholding tax, right? So I select that, because in that area only I have to make the changes. Other areas are not required. So click on enter. Okay. So here first of all I have to give the withholding tax country IN, right? Then then I will put withholding tax type 7I, withholding tax code same 7I, select label checkbox, and recipient, suppose this particular supplier Trident Industries Limited, which types of receiver this is company, so CO. Similarly at the time of advances also 7A, A for advances, select label and put O, CO, recipient type CO, label to checkbox. Then so this is the thing, and then click on the next page. Don't care for the warning message, click on save. Okay, so this is already changed. We can check now also. Yes, this is permanently changed. This particular thing is added to this vendor master. So whenever this vendor master will be used, then automatically what happens, TDS will be applicable, right? Now I will go to another screen. Actually, in case the TDS procedure is assigned to the vendor master, there is another area where PAN number of the vendor has to be updated, right? Again I am telling, PAN number of the vendor has to be updated. Without the PAN number of the vendor or service provider, 20% tax has to be deducted. Okay, so PAN number is a must, but here the PAN number is not showing. So how to activate the PAN number area in the vendor master? Because in my vendor master, my there is no place to put the PAN number. So SAP is also having a uh, way to activate the PAN number area. So that's why there is a path also, there is a transaction code also. I have given in the material, study material. Let us use the transaction code OMT3E. Okay. Then I will use user screen reference. Actually here, this one, user screen reference. So in the user screen reference, your username has to be activated. So let us have my username. 68 font 2 is my user, so I will activate here 68 fun2. That's it. That's it. That means your username is activated. That means once your username is activated, let us see uh, what is happened in our case. Let us go to the vendor area again, xk02. So this withholding tax area is already there. Click here. Once I click here, I see the scene detail is available. Previously it was not available. Without this, TDS cannot be activated. Okay, so just a minute, 1 minute. Click on the scene detail, right? Then click on the withholding tax. Here the PAN number area is available. Give a PAN number as per your own. I am giving a PAN number like this: 9987654 3C. Anything but you know. Then click on the back arrow and click on save. Okay, fine. So now all the customizations of my TDS procedure is well over. Then we can have the end user entries. So for end user entries, we can go to and pass one invoice, FB60. So in the FB60, first of all check what is the company code. 7200 is your company code. See, before this particular tab was not there. Only there was basic data, payment, detail, tax and notes. Now withholding tax tab is applicable. Why? Because withholding tax customization is activated in my company code. So this fresh tab is appearing here. Let us select the vendor. So this is the vendor. Put the invoice date 3rd January 2023. Amount is say 20,000. Okay. Then select your business place or section code. This is my business place. This is my section code. So narration I am giving service charges posting. Okay. Then I click on this withholding tax tab. Just a minute. Let us have the GL account of this one. Let us use the GL account, then we will go. So my GL account, whatever I am using, that is service charges 4 lakhs. Amount is star. Then let us have the text is plus, put enter and click on the withholding tax. There is some issues here actually. One has to be removed, and but removal is not showing. It is showing static. So there is a issue in field status actually. Let us see. Field status in your okay, field status of your sundry creditor. Okay, so let us open the OBC4. First of all, let us open /n fs00. That is in display mode, I think. So sundry creditor. Sundry creditor. This one. So let us see what is the field status group. G001 is given. Okay. So let us go to the OBC4. OBC4 is the your grouping field status group. We will see in the G001 what is assigned. OBC4. So this is 7200. Click on the field status group. This is G001, and let us see. So click on the next one, then click on the next one. Okay, again click on the next one. Okay, see, this withholding tax code, withholding tax amount, these are suppressed. Okay, we have to make it optional. As these are suppressed, the things are like this, so I have to make it optional. Once I make it optional, then I have to go to this FS00 and make change. I have to just assign again, or it will automatically assigned if it will be refreshed. Okay, so I assigned here. Again I will try to post. So this posting I am cancelling. FB60 again. This is your vendor. I will use your vendor. Okay, so this is the date, this is the amount, this is your business place, this is your section code, this is your service charges. Click on the C. Now as it was suppressed, so these were in gray. So now two options are available. I have to use only one, whether it is advance posting or whether it is invoice posting. I erased this advance posting. Okay, then after I erase the advance posting, then I come to the basic data tab again. Then I am using the GL account. So GL account is service charges 4 lakhs 400,000. Then amount is star, then text is plus, click enter, then I click on the simulate. See, once I click on simulate, then what is happening? It is saying service charges 20,000, but 2% TDS is deducted on the service charges. So 400 rupees is the TDS. So service charges debited 20,000, TDS payable 400, the GL of the TDS payable 100, 203, it is automatically there because we have already made the automatic account assignment, and the rest of the amount 20,000 minus 400, 19,600 is showing as payable to the Trident Industries. So this is the thing. Click on save. It is showing again some error message. Let us see what is the error. There is a error still, it is not saving. Error log, let us see the error log. Item 003 must be corrected. Okay, it's alright. Item 003 must be corrected means narration. It is required the narration. So let us have the narration plus. Let us have the, because narration is mandatory for this line item. So I can suppress the narration, because whenever any line item is automatically created, in previous case also discount cases, the narration was required because it was automatically created. Discount, terms of payment. Here also this line item is automatically generated, but in our case we make text or narration compulsory. So that's why it is showing as error. So now hence I save, no error is there, and the document is posted 6028. Okay. So similarly, suppose we are paying advance to the vendor. It was passing the invoice. Suppose we are paying 10,000 advance to the vendor. Okay. For advance to the vendor, we cannot use this screen. We will use the screen as your down payment, right? From there itself, also we can use the withholding tax tab, and I can use to pay to the vendor as advances and select the withholding tax type. Like, see, document entry. Here is the down payment F-48. So here also I can do, or I can have the down payment in that screen also. Actually this is the down payment request. Okay, this is the down payment request screen. Let us see. 3rd January 2023. So vendor I am selecting. I think the interface will not be available here. Special GL indicator A, then bank account 2 lakhs will be there. Suppose I am paying 10,000 advances. Then I put enter. Okay, text is required. I am putting advances. Okay, withholding tax is available but in a different node. Here is plus, here is withholding tax. Okay, automatically it is coming advance 7A, right? So because this is advanced, the system is automatically detecting. Click on the document simulate. Withholding tax amount exceeds the total bank line item. Okay. Okay, I have to see why the error is showing like this. Okay, that is vendor special GL indicator. Amount is this one. Sorry, account is this one. Sorry, 10,000. This is your advance. Actually I have omitted something. So amount is say amount is say 20. Say amount is star. I can put star here. Then text is plus. Then I can have withholding tax. Automatically it is coming. So let us have document simulate. No, it is exceeding. It is showing as exceeding. Okay, fine. So I will see why there is having some problem or issues at the time of making advances, because that withholding tax is also showing automatically by default, but it is showing withholding tax amount exceeds the total bank line item amount. Withholding tax amount exceeds total bank line item amounts. Okay, fine. So this is the way in which the withholding tax is deducted at the time of normal cases, normal invoice cases. But for down payment, some issues are coming. I have to show what are the issues and how things will be resolved. So all of you, hope all of you will do the practice, and I am sending the video. And in the next class also we will start with another chapter, that is your GST procedures, GST configuration procedures. So good night to all of you, and I am sending the video. Hope you will do the practice.